Whatever.
Alright, hello and welcome to League of Loggers. This is another episode which I don't remember what it is.
I don't know anymore.
X plus 1 equals X is what we're at right now. That being said,
boobs.
we're talking about week 4? 5?
It's 5. It's
Niner? It is 5.
It is 5.
Did I get your niner in there?
Week 5.
It is week 5. Okay, geez.
And it is episode 22.
22, week 5. We are here. Host this evening. I'm going to remember to mention that.
Yeah.
On the other side of the table? Yeah.
Dais? I don't know. Whatever you want to go with.
On the other side of me, we've got Kurtis James.
What's up?
Between the two of us, we've got Stormy,
Hello.
a.k.a. Heather,
Yeah.
or other way around.
Whatever works.
Myself, Chase Viking Redbeard. I am here physically, not mentally.
The usual.
I don't know what my problem is right now. Like, I'm just...
But you know what, let's
What was it?
Oh, what? Week 5, yeah.
No, for the League of Loggers.
22.
Oh, yeah, episode 22. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start talking about week 5. It just happened. So we're coming off of a fairly disappointing Rift Rivals for North America. We had TL who played well.
Yeah.
They went 3-1. They beat G2 both times, even like when it mattered. TSM did not look good. They got the 1 win against Fnatic and lost everything else, including losing to Fnatic twice. So they didn't even like have a winning record there. And then Cloud9, who was sick as all hell.
Yeah.
Fun note this week, Cloud9, everybody was not sick anymore, but Licorice, who didn't actually even want to play in Rift Rivals because his wrist was starting to bother him, did sit out this week.
Wow.
So actually,
I was wondering why.
Yeah,
so
let's go ahead and start off there. Because instead of Licorice, we saw Kumo, previously known as Shiro, previously known as League.
Is that why that says Shiro? Because I had no idea. I was wondering. I was like...
I put Shiro because I was thinking he went League Kumo Shiro, but it's League Shiro Kumo.
Okay.
He's Kumo now. But yeah, we did see him once previously, at least once previously, I think as Shiro then. I don't remember. But we've seen him once before. But he had a really good weekend. And Cloud9 in general, really good weekend. They started off with a great win over Team Liquid.
Kumo did say that this was his first 2-0 weekend ever.
Oh, good for him.
Ever. In Academy, I'm sure he's had plenty.
Maybe on main stage?
He must be main stage.
It was just a comment that was made.
It might also have been like very tongue-in-cheek, like he's never played both games or something. But I think he has played both games like once before.
Or maybe with the new tag or something. It could have been like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
Either way, I like it if it's a sense of humor thing.
Even if it's not, good for him.
True. But I think Cloud9 in general, though, looked really good this weekend.
Fantastic. They got over their sickness.
For how bad sick Cloud9 looked by comparison, this was ridiculous. Against Team Liquid, I think you have to take it with a grain of salt because Liquid did play a weird comp.
They also played bad, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see. That game we saw... Or no, did they play it? No, they did play a weird comp, did they?
They had Aatrox, Sejuani, Corki, Lucian, Braum.
Yeah, so
against C9.
They played a normal comp. Oh, it was Liquid or Cloud9, however, played Vigar mid.
We loving it.
Niski went the fuck off.
Oh, look! I even made like a little fanfare for him in my notes.
You did.
He went like, woohoo!
It looks like sparklers from the 4th of July. Yeah. He's holding them up.
Yeah, we saw Zazel on the Lux, and he like just popped off. It was like 5-0-12.
We've seen him play the Lux like 2 or 3 times now, and he's always very good on it.
C9 tweeted out, was like, support Lux, and then like the stats 509. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you guys are funny.
Yeah.
I need to start writing down times.
Apparently,
that would help,
in the all chat right away in the beginning of the game, Jensen all chatted, oh, so now you want a Vigar on your team. Because I've mentioned this before, and I should say, it's Vagar. I've just had it as Vigar in my head for so long, because that's how it's spelled, damn it.
I don't think anybody cares.
But anyway, Jensen's original tag online was Vagod X.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh.
He was super toxic.
Jensen,
yeah.
Jensen was toxic?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
that's part of the reason he started in NA is because he had been banned. So he wasn't gonna play either place. But then like he came to NA and like kind of got away from the toxic EU culture and whatnot. Yeah. And there were teams who didn't want to touch him because they just thought he'd get banned right away again.
Yeah.
But he was Vagod X. He actually, I don't know what it was, but he had some like weird Vagar build that he used to play. and, you know, rose pretty high in solo queue with. And so, yeah, he just made the joke. He's like, oh, now you want to Vanguard.
I didn't know he did that. That's funny.
But yeah, Niski popped off. Kumo's Jace was good. That play under turret up top when Impact tried to dive him.
Oh, that's what that is. Kumo solo's Impact with major outplay.
It was ridiculous. Well, because, like, and granted, there was a misplay by Impact
That's
there.
what I think,
He
too.
should have flashed on his third Q. He could have secured the kill, but he didn't. And then he flashed late to get away from turret, but there's a shot already set.
Yeah.
But like just he did the jump towards him on Jace to avoid a Q, and then knocked him back under turret as he ran the fuck away, and then like got the shot in as he's leaving. Like everything
so
he did was perfect to not die and get the kill. I
saw that and I was just like,
yeah. And then like you said, Zazel on that Lux was so good.
Yeah. Caught out what it must have been Xayah down in the bot lane, caught her like right underneath the turret. Didn't quite get her, but like got her to a sliver of health. It was like clutch.
Lucian.
It was the Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian is what
I was
TL
looking
played
at
that
the
match.
wrong match, sorry. Yes, the Lucian. Grabbed him, got him to like just the slightest sliver of health before he was able to dash away.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Oh.
Got blue balls.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was a great match to watch though. It was fun.
I mean, Cloud9 looked good on that game against Clutch. I mean, granted, Clutch is not nearly the same level of opponent. They're not the same caliber. But that match was disgusting.
It was decidedly.
It was not close. And, I mean, we saw the Jace up top again. We saw the Lee Sin jungle, which... Okay, there's two things here to talk about quick. Clutch played a weird-ass comp. And I think we need to wheel back around to them later to talk about the weird comp, just on its own.
Yeah.
But, so you had the Syndra bot, and they invaded, they were like trading blue buffs. And the Syndra comes in and does Syndra. She grabs the blue buff to like toss it over the wall to reset it, right? And Svenskar just goes, no, this will ruin my whole early jungle. Fuck you. Flashes over the wall, smites it, gets level 2, takes his Q, Qs the grump, and fucking leaves.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what the fuck Chad play did I just see happen?
That was really fun.
Just
Thank
like
you
big balls it. Like, I'm
doing
gonna
that.
burn my one summoner because I'm a jungler.
Because it's
I
early.
get one.
He did the correct thing in my opinion. You're gonna get that back before you probably even see the other jungler again or need it to go gank.
Yeah. Like,
So do it now, do it early, secure your buff, get the fuck out.
that was still crazy.
Perfect play.
Like, I can't even imagine seeing, like, Chase on his Warwick. Somebody's doing that to him. He goes, no, fuck you. Flashes over the wall, smites it, walks up to where Gromp has dropped the ward, and then uses the Q to jump over the wall to the Gromp. I don't know
That's
if
your
you can
goal
get
now.
over that wall or not.
You can't jump over the wall with your Q.
Oh, you can't?
You can follow someone over a wall.
Right. I didn't know if that wall was thin enough you could leap over it, though.
I can R over everything.
Okay.
I can't Q over anything.
yeah.
Unless, anything?
No, so with Warwick, if you like Q them right before they flash, you usually follow
Well,
them.
yeah,
through the
if you
flash.
let go of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I know there is a range on it. I just don't know what the range was. Because they don't have to be humping you for you to start a Q on them.
No.
But yeah.
But
so
that's a person rather than...
Right, well, but you
Oh,
can
right.
Q any target.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Q doesn't shoot you out past anything, so...
Well, I know it brings you to the target. That's what I was saying. It just mattered if the wall was thin enough that you could target
I don't
him,
know.
target Gromp over the wall if you had vision. That's what I don't know.
I'm gonna
Maybe
go ahead
you
and
don't
say
even know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a hard no
Okay.
because the range isn't that long. It's the walls.
Well, okay, you've also played Vi. Let's
Yeah.
imagine you started like E,
oh yeah,
and you flashed over, smited, and then said fuck off, and you queued back over the wall. Like,
That's a good comparison.
how Chad would you feel? You'd just be like, I'm a fucking baller, and walk away, right?
I've had that happen. Not that exact interaction, but I've had similar interactions where the Vi does Vi things and then fucks me and then runs away. I'm like,
It's never
Well,
been you doing it.
I've been on the receiving end of that, and it's a feels bad
Same,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. It was just like that was a sick play, and I know the casters were saying it later on into that game, but I mean we've been saying it for a while. Svenskaren's looking like the best jungler in the league this split.
Yeah.
And that match, like even more so, because he was fucking everywhere. The gank's top under turret on Huni, which once again we will come back and talk about Clutch.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I think when it comes down to it though, Cloud9 looked really, really good this week. And I don't know exactly what to make of it, like just because of
Well, they...
it was Clutch with a weird comp, And then I felt like TL slightly underperformed too. What
Yes.
do you guys think about what we saw of Cloud9 this week?
They are looking good.
I mean, game 2, that weird ass comp that they played, I still don't like any of what I saw.
from Clutch.
Yeah, from Clutch.
Because I was about to say,
We're going to talk about it.
C9 setup is great. The Yumi follows the Twisted Fate ult. I mean, I probably could have made that connection in my head.
Oh, because she goes with TP.
But perfect pairing, perfect combo.
Yeah.
Like, send him on his way with her, and you just killed someone. There you go.
know, and I didn't even think of it and Niski had another great game, but I didn't think of it while I was watching the match that they basically just had an extra TP for Yumi to travel around constantly.
Exactly.
So you were 4-man ganking anywhere you wanted to, whenever you wanted to.
And it was
And then
really
Sneaky
cool.
was throwing
Smart.
ults that just destroyed people's buttholes.
Yeah, he was on Ezreal, shooting a whole bunch of Qs.
Yeah.
Pew-pewing it up.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
So their comp was...
Also, it was
very
AD
good.
Twisted Fate that Niski played.
Oh, yes, I noticed
Like,
that too, yeah.
It
I
was
don't think he
AD
was a
Twisted
pivotal
Fate.
point
It
in
was
that one, was he?
defensive Ezreal from Sneaky because he went like Maw and Frozen Fist and stuff. And so they were still like trying to blow him up, and he's like, "I'm tanky, and there's a Yumi. Fuck off!"
Yeah.
And he would make it out with like 150 health.
Yeah, Chase did that too.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
I don't know, Cloud9. Like, what do you think
They
about
look good.
after this week? What do you think about them going forward? There's 4 weeks left. They currently own the head-to-head over TL. Granted, they will face TL again. And as it stands, like, their losses are to Golden Guardians, TSM, who are tied with them at first. I'm sorry, TSM's tied with them at first. Golden Guardians are at 6th. 100 Thieves, who's down, tied at 8th.
TSM is not tied with them in first. TSM is behind.
Oh, that's right. They lost as well. They're tied at 4th now.
Yeah.
So, like, but they own the head-to-heads against every team they're currently tied with. And they did just have one of their best weeks. So only their second 2-0 week of the split.
Yeah.
But when you say that, they've gone 5 weeks. They've only had 2 2-0 weeks. Like, what do you guys expect from them going forward based on what we've seen this week, just week 5? Like,
Cloud9's always been a top 3 team. Like,
generally.
they're looking good. They look like they could have first place contention here.
okay.
Well, they are in first place right now, so they have it.
They're
I mean,
tied.
It's a 3-way tie, but yeah.
It was
I
a
do agree,
5-way
though,
tie,
yeah.
by the way, after day 1.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, no, Cloud9 looks good. I don't really have much bad to say about them. I'm not really digging all of the wacky comps that I'm seeing, but not just from Cloud9, from basically everyone right now.
Well, and I think that came off of Rift Rivals. We saw EU go, hey, if you guys don't just play meta and play like fun things / things you're just good at, which is something I've preached forever, play shit you're good at. And even Niski said it after day 2. He said, like playing the TF, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't have played the TF before Rift Rivals because I was just like, okay, I have to play all the meta stuff. It's like, okay, this is what's the best mid laner, and now he's just going to play what's good for them. And I think that's going to make the whole league better.
It provides utility too, playing TF with the vision, and again, if you combo it with the Yumi, it's just silly.
Yeah,
like play what you're good at and like pair it.
Any
well.
team that's ahead and has a Yumi just becomes disgusting.
Yeah. I think they'll go another 7-3, 6-4.
Yeah.
So
7-3. Ooh.
because I mean, if they
you say well, they're 7-3
Sorry.
now. They have 4 weeks
they'll
left.
do another
So they have
like the
8.
same run. Like basically they'll lose maybe 2 games out of all that. Maybe.
All right. I mean, that's a decent ending.
If they keep
to be
playing
at 5
well,
loses only. I mean, the best records last split were them and TL at 14-4.
Yeah,
So
that's
13-5
what I'm
won't be bad.
Yeah.
So what about Kumo? Do we think Licorice will be out for another week? Do you think Kumo's gonna keep playing?
I think they'll run him as long as he's gonna play well, and Licorice wants the time to recover.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now, what about if Licorice is back and Kumo is playing well, though?
They'll take
I
Licorice,
think
of course.
Licorice is still better.
Okay.
Like, I mean, he's more seasoned. Like, I'm not to say anything bad about Kumo. I mean, it's good to him get the main stage practice. But at the end of the day, Licorice, I think, is a much better player, and he's more valuable to have on your team.
Yeah.
That being said, I think he can take as much time as he needs to not like go right back in if his wrist is gonna hurt, and they're gonna be okay with that. Like he should do that if it's for the best.
And if you're Optic, how bad do you wish you could buy Kumo right now?
Over Dokla?
Yeah. You're like, oh, come on, we're tied for 4th. We can definitely guarantee playoffs. All right, so let's move on from Cloud9, though. Let's talk about CLG.
Are we gonna talk about the did you want to talk about the freaking comp that CG ran or no?
We'll come back to them later.
All right.
Let's talk about CLG, though.
Yeah.
Because they were one of the biggest stories of the weekend. El Clasico, which has not been El Clasico in forever. CLG versus TM. Used to be rivals. Used to be. Way back in the day.
So first in 184 games or something?
First in 15 face-offs. So they won. This is 1 in 14 they've been. They were 0 in 14. They had not won in 1,175 days.
Okay, that's what it was.
Jesus.
There was some absurd number.
It had been years since they won.
So just 15 face-offs between... Oh, they only did 2 a split.
2 a split. They had met in playoffs a few times, or like Gauntlet or something. And especially because CLG was so bad, not only were they losing to TSM, they weren't making playoffs to face them again. So they were getting like 2 a split, so they were like 4 a year, and that's it.
Wow, so it is a really long time. Like, they were explaining it, and like...
Yeah.
It seemed like a really freaking long time.
It's been over 3 years.
That's insane. So, good job, because they look good doing it.
Yeah.
And TSM didn't look good losing either.
Like not only did CLG break the streak. Oh, and here are the random fun facts. Other teams who had beaten TSM more recently than CLG before this, Dignitas and Phoenix One. Those teams haven't existed in over 2 years.
I know Dignitas, and I'm sure I've heard the Phoenix one. Like
Mike Young came
week,
from it previously.
That's
yeah.
why we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like they
But
hadn't existed.
I don't know them.
They hadn't existed in a year and a half.
Yeah.
The only players remaining on those squads from the last time CLG won, Stixay and Bjergsen. All the other 8 players different.
Wow.
I mean,
like
I'm going to fault TSM more than I'm going to praise CLG on this. Like, not that they didn't play well, but TSM played a wonky comp. And it's a comp that isn't really known right now to be especially good. It's kind of an unknown. And CLG just played like more of a classic comp. And they just wrecked them. Yep. So TSM played Yasuo, Gragas in the bot lane, Jarvan jungle, Kennen top, and Cassiopeia was mid, yeah. And for like most of the other spots other than that bot lane, they sound pretty normal. But Yasuo, Gragas, like if
I get they're taking the Cloud9 Yasuo Gragas there, but they run it jungle mid.
If it gets ahead early, it's really disgusting. If you get pooped on early, you're boned, and that's basically what happened. CLG kind of camped their bottom a little bit there. That sounded dirty. And they didn't allow TSM to get disgusting with it. Like, a fed Yasuo is the worst thing in the game. You don't want a fed Yasuo on the other team. And CLG was very good at not allowing the Yasuo to get ahead, and CLG just kind of ran away with it. Yeah. So kudos to them.
I mean, I think the Yasuo would have been better in the hands of Bjergsen. With Greg was playing that game, I believe.
Katie.
Or was Katie was playing that one? Did Katie play both this weekend?
Yes.
I like Greg. So. I like Greg a little better. I think now.
I think so. Like as much
especially
as
Gragas, because I've seen his Gragas and I like Greg's Gragas a lot.
So him on Gragas and then I see it.
But I mean, you choose the player before you choose the character.
I only having Acadian from the first split and a little bit of Grig, and what of Grig I'd have seen in this split. I think they should play him more if he's going to be even at the same level or maybe a bit better than Acadian, because this was a lackluster performance by TSM, especially like he was saying, CLG just denied him. They went hard on that first dive, and CLG committed 2 TPs to it, but came out with 2 kills, first blood and a second kill. They also took, what I want to mention here is early Ocean, and this is something I've been thinking about for a while. In this Summer Split, we haven't seen these big Ocean fights like we did in the beginning of Spring Split, where we were seeing a Drake taken at 6 minutes, 6 Drakes we've only seen 6 Drakes on the map once, and it was, I think, in the Summer Split, and it was in this weekend, and I noticed it maybe a couple times.
It's hard to get up to 6 because they had shifted it from what last year was.
Yeah.
The timers are the first spawn timers later.
But we
This
had
is still
6
like one
Drakes
of the first
in the Spring
Elder
Split.
Drakes we've seen in a while too.
Yeah,
maybe not this specific match, but this week.
And I think I don't know why teams aren't focusing on this buff. That is a team buff that lasts the entire game and is incredibly important, especially when it's like maybe Ocean, Infernal, and then Mountain in that order. Depending, because Mountain, like, that takes structures, and structures are how you win.
Yeah, I still see people fighting over Infernals early. Ocean seems more like they just fight for vision over it to make sure the other people don't take it. Nobody takes Cloud still, which Cloud got buffed. It is still underrated. Like,
I love
like
Cloud.
Having that movement speed, and we saw Pike. Who played Pike?
I remember. I just don't.
Was it day 1 or day 2?
It had to have been day 1 on the game.
CLG played Pike day 1 against Clutch.
Yeah,
and they had the Ocean Drakes, and so that Pike had like 700 movement speed when he was using his E. It was disgusting how fast he got around the map.
And I think that these teams should be doing that, and they don't. But CLG, and coming back to this, we can go on to that tangent later. CLG had an early Ocean Drake, and I really commended them for that. They took it real quick. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think like what you said about like the pressure down bot, they capitalized on that. I think TSM made a few mistakes in draft, but I never want to blame everything on draft unless it's just god awful.
Yep.
But like, so the Gragas Yasuo combo, I get it. I would have rather seen it out of their jungle mid.
Yeah.
But okay, you went bot with it. I can respect that. You know, making a change. So we have that diving going on. We got the Jarvan to help them out. All right, you've got that going on. Okay, well let's throw on a Kennen and a Cassiopeia. Why
Those
do you
don't
need?
Make sense.
Why do you need another diver in the Kennen? You already have a 2-person to set up. Like you don't need the Kennen. And then the Cassiopeia, it felt wholly unnecessary. I'm okay with that if you don't have the Kennen, and I'm maybe okay with the Kennen if you don't have the Cassio. But it just seemed weird. But at the same time, we saw Wiggly on Sylas in the jungle. He was disgustingly good.
Beautiful.
His Sylas jungle was insane. Yeah. I hold back to what I was saying last split, and you know prior to that even, where like Wiggly had like started a little bit, and I was just like, I like Wiggly going forward. And then last split, when people were like, CLG's bad, get rid of Wiggly, and I said it on fucking air. You can check the tape. Wiggly's not the problem.
Yeah,
he's not.
He never was.
And shit, all of a sudden they switched top lane, which granted I like Darshan and all, but like
it was hit or miss.
Yeah, and I thought the bot lane was some of their issue. I thought mid lane, you know, they've moved around stuff, but like that's the one big change. Like they have Power of Evil, Wiggly, and then everybody else is kind of playing around that. And Ruin's pretty self-sufficient, which helps. Wiggly is disgusting right now. That kid is going to be one of the best junglers in the league.
I hope so. He's fun.
It's Sven Skaren. It's what's his name? Meteos. Like I think those are the top 2 right now. Sven Skaren and Meteos. And then you've got like an argument in the middle there. Like, you know, sometimes Smithy's having a down split by comparison, but he's still really good. So it's like probably Smithy number 3, and then Wiggly probably 4. I don't know if I put anybody else above
even
Wiggly.
Over Santorin maybe now.
Yeah, and Santorin's having a bad split.
Yeah.
Amazing's not great.
His Sunday game was real good.
He did okay this week, but like that whole team's struggling. Like Lyra's not good, Santorin's not doing well. Echo Fox just swapped out to Mike Young, so we'll hold judgment on that. Golden Guardians contracts. He's okay.
He has his moments.
Yeah, and then Katie and Grig, like I've seen some good and some bad out of both of them. Like more good out of, or less bad, I should say, out of Grig. I've seen good out of both of them. Like I don't know, it's just
remember the play.
Wiggly's good.
He soloed 2 people up top.
Oh,
Bjergsen,
dude.
and then Acadian.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
The solo against Bjergsen, he had that like in hand easily. And then when Acadian showed up, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna clean this up." And
forgot that
just
Darshan
like
went to Golden Guardians.
Yeah, he's on their academy. But yeah, he just like perfectly got the shield, which made him survive until he could get the Kingslayer to heal. Like it was just insanely tight. But it was so great. And then he would have gotten the kill, but Acadian was able to like flash and run the fuck away. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Like I don't know. CLG looking good. I've got to give credit before we leave CLG though to talk Jeff. Jeff had them picked as his dark horse. They actually looked good, and I said like going into this weekend, I'm like, okay, if they lose the games this weekend, like no, they won them and they looked good, especially against TSM. They looked real good against TSM.
I didn't watch the CG game.
They're a playoff team easily. I will be shocked if they don't make playoffs at this point.
He was talking about it. He was like, we want to take this whole spot. Like, we're in first.
Yeah.
We are there. But we want,
he's like the next achievement. Six Day said in the interview.
Yeah,
he's
like,
I
can't remember.
Yeah, it's like, what's your goal? He's like, well, we're tied for first, so it's to like own first.
Yeah.
Like that's their next
Good goal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think he did a good job this weekend of like sitting back a little bit and letting Power of Evil and Wiggly do the work.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe take it up towards Ruin. Like him and Biofrost, they crushed it too, but like if Biofrost was like, hey, I'm gonna fuck off and help somewhere else where we're gonna get huge leads, he didn't try to make shit happen on his own.
Yeah.
I still saw a few times he was like way out of position and he got away with it. So there's that issue. I think the better teams, Cloud9 and TL and such, they're going to punish Stixace's positioning possibly.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
possible.
a worry still for them.
Yeah.
So if they want to be number one, they have to work on that. But they're a good team.
You like them or no?
Jeff was right.
I don't have anything bad to say about them. Like they're a team that I kind of largely overlooked, and then quietly they've moved to first place. So
Yeah. Like, so what, they were 7th last split? 8th?
They finished last split
I guess I have it right here.
7 and 11. I don't know what that left
I know,
them
it's not
though.
on there.
Okay, I have it blocked off.
That's okay.
Let's see, 1, 2,
Not playoffs, I guess is all that matters.
3,
yeah, they didn't.
4,
They didn't do very
tied
well
for
last.
5th. No, I'm sorry.
No.
5, 6, tied for 7th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they were okay.
With
They
Optic.
weren't especially great, but
So they just missed playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Just missed playoffs by a game. They would have been tied with Echo Fox and then gotten a tiebreaker for it. But, I mean... Oh, that's right, because they lost to Echo Fox on the last day to miss out on playoffs, too.
Yeah.
Had they beaten Echo Fox, they would have actually straight up taken the spot.
I don't
Yep.
remember those games, but sounds
Well, I
about
can
right.
see it on the chart.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's why I have
Fuck.
information,
I
guys. Yeah, I don't know.
Who do they play next week? CLG plays TL and GG's?
Yeah,
That'll be both good.
Yeah, I mean,
What if TL
another
loses
two
to-
challenges. If TL loses to Clutch or to CLG, I've got more questions about TL than thoughts about CLG. I think.
Yeah.
Like TL's gonna make playoffs. There are just too many good players on that team to not make playoffs.
it seems like TL is like having like a plateau problem. Like everyone else is starting to catch up to them, and they're not getting any better.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
And so it's like the gap between TL and everyone else last split, with maybe the exception of Cloud9, was pretty large.
Yeah.
That gap is not quite that large anymore. I mean, there's still 3 people tied for first place in week 5. I don't know that we had that many people tied for first
We
place
did
in
not.
last
It-
split.
it-
So
I'm pretty sure TL
It
owned it
shook
alone
out
at that
like
point
over
already.
like
Yeah,
third
so-
week, I think.
No, I
yeah.
know TL owned it alone because they only had 1 loss at the end of week 5. Cloud9 had Team 2, and everybody else had plenty more than that.
yeah, so TL, I think that they had their super team comp work out really well for a split, and now every other team that's made changes, they're starting to make the appropriate changes.
Most of them.
They're putting
Some of
most of them. The ones that are also starting to
Yes,
catch up with
yeah.
them, like they're doing the right stuff. They're coaching the right way. They're reviewing. At least I'm assuming that's what they're doing. But they're getting to that place to where that gap isn't this big anymore. It's closer to like this big. Where, I mean, TL's been losing matches. I
I
mean,
wonder if they're like if that stresses them out. I mean, it's gotta, right? Like,
I don't know. I think they're fairly confident. They've been here before.
yeah.
That they're
they're
chill.
not gonna fall out of like top 2. I don't think. I would be very surprised.
That would be their
Maybe
only
top
worry, is that
3,
they
yeah.
fall off top 2 and they have to play an extra playoff game.
Yeah.
And even then, I think they pull their shit together for playoffs that, unless Cloud9 just really, really wrecks them, I still think
Yeah.
TL is the better team.
Okay.
So here's a question for you, because you said like these other teams that are making these improvements, and especially considering we talked about these other comps and such, where you're playing like more weird characters. Do you? I mentioned last week that I thought TL was one of those teams that I didn't know they could play faster and crazier. If the rest of the league, which we saw this week, is willing to play mage bot lanes, AD carry TF mid, Vigar mid, Silas jungle, things like that. If everybody else is willing to do that, can TL, 1, could they do it themselves? And 2, even if whether they do, whether they don't, can they keep up if these other teams do it and do it successfully?
Well, I mean, day 2 they played the Sonateric comp, and
They've been playing that for a while, though.
I
That's
know-
not new.
I know that's not super new, but that's like new within like the last 3 weeks, give or take.
Right, but, well, okay, if you're talking 3 weeks of LCS, yes. So it's been a month at this point. And actually,
Sure.
it's earlier than that. They were playing Sonateric back at MSI.
Mm.
So that wasn't even, like, it started, I think it started right before MSI. So they've been playing it for, like, a couple months at this point.
Okay, I suppose you're right. even so, that's one of those weird comps that
And it's
like,
not a
either,
fast one either, it's slow.
Yeah, because I mean, if your bot lane gets shut down, like you're just wrecked. Like you can't. It's really hard to catch up. But if you get a kill on Sona early, like you're sitting really pretty. You get your gold your gold item upgrade a lot quicker. And
we
like,
saw them do that when they won against 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Although they still like stalled the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean TL looked kind of silly there for about 10 minutes. Maybe not quite 10 minutes, but it was pretty close.
It looked like 100 Thieves was going to win for, I think, a good 20 minutes.
They had, like,
I was worried about it.
Turtled
like,
them up at the base for a while. They
win.
had knocked out a couple inhibs, and then, like, 100 Thieves in classic 100 Thieves fashion was like, oh, we could close this out. What should we do? Just all in and lose? Sounds like a great plan, guys.
So, I mean, to the overall question, though, if these other teams, say Cloud9, CLG, who else is tied for first right now?
TL.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's just the three. So, say Cloud9, CLG, and then let's throw in TSM and, is it Optic? Yeah, Optic for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
Say those 4 teams make the adjustment. They start throwing mage bot lanes, weird junglers, weird mid lane. You know, they should throw other shit at you. Say they start doing that. Can TL keep up with that? If these other teams are doing it well, like doing it, not just doing it, but doing it well. Like doing it the way we saw Niski do it this weekend. Doing it the way we saw Wiggly do it on Silas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not just pulling out like your clutch, because that's our next topic. Now, you know, not just going, here's stuff, and then shitting the bed. But like pulling out and going, oh fuck, why is this Vigar fucking me? Oh my god, this Silas just 1v1'd twice in a row. You know, like, oh my god, this TF is everywhere with a Yuumi on his back. I hate life right now. Can TL keep up with that? Can they adjust? Or is just the level of their players good enough that it's like, they're going to be fine just because they have a fucking all-star squad?
I think they're going to be fine. Like, I mean, I don't really think TSM's really a threat right now. I think that we're going to see TSM continue to drop games here and there. Like, I don't think they're going to, like, flat out, like, fall out of, like, playoffs, but I think that they're gonna start giving up more games than they have been before.
Or the same amount.
So
like
you think just the level of players on TL, they're gonna be fine?
I think so.
What do you think, Heather?
I think it's exactly what you said, that their players are good enough.
They're enough players.
They're all good enough players of League of Legends to make the adjustments, to understand how things are working and figure it out for themselves. It may take them a while to do it as a unit, but it's TL will do it as a unit. When it comes to push and shove, they'll push.
Every player on that squad is internationally known. Yeah. The least internationally known player is Xmithy.
Oh, no?
Doublelift has a worldwide fan base.
Well, yeah, like, I know worldwide.
Core JJ and Impact are both world champions. Doublelift's been around forever and has been, like, granted he hasn't done well internationally until MSI finally, but everybody knows him. They know he's a great player.
Doublelift was like the first person I knew on that team, and then Core JJ right after.
Yeah, it's Jensen Xmithy, and Xmithy's just always kind of been under the radar, and he's usually been on like worse teams too. Like even when he went to international events, it was like he's on Vulcan or on CLG or something, like until he got on to
So yeah. I mean, it's just they are who they are. They're gonna come together and do it. Like I don't think any of those people on that team will leave in like the next year or two. I think they'll keep that roster as long as it keeps working.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're gonna change roster by any means.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about in the vein of weird comps. Let's talk about Clutch Gaming on day 2. We'll do a quick hit here. Clutch Gaming day 1 lost to CLG. We saw Huni on Rumble. We saw the Sona Kench bot lane. We saw Graves in the jungle. Syndra mid. Pretty stock stuff other than that.
Graves.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. That was the one game I didn't watch.
So Graves wasn't like.
I have it written down.
It's not super out of left field. Like we see him in the jungle every now and then. It's
Clutch
rarer, but we see him.
Okay.
Clutch did not have Graves game 2 or day 2.
Day 1.
Oh,
I said quick hit day 1. They had the Sona Kench bot lane, Rumble top lane, Syndra mid, jungle.
Sorry, you said day 2 and then jumped to day 1, and my brain didn't follow.
So anyway, like the only weird thing they did there, and it's not even that weird anymore because we just talked about it, like it's been a couple months. The Sona Taric, the adaptation is the Sona Kench, which we've seen a little bit. So day 2 against Cloud9, they draft Jarvan in the jungle. Cool. Nautilus in the bot lane. Gotcha. Syndra.
Where's it gonna go?
You assume it's gonna be mid, right? Yeah. And then they draft Cassiopeia. Okay, they're gonna put her top Syndra mid. Fine. What's their bot laner? Then they draft Zed.
It was so funny to watch.
And you're like, okay, Zed in the bot lane. No.
That's what I wrote, and then it was bad. And
No.
I scribbled out so many times here.
Well,
that
and
I just
especially
said,
because
"Fuck it."
Cody's son, their bot laner, did play Zed.
Yeah.
You
But
did?
he played it. Cody's
No,
son
it's all
played
that
it
stuff.
mid.
Yeah.
Zed mid.
That's what it was. Okay,
Cassiopeia
thank you.
was played top by Huni. Syndra was played by Demonte, bot lane.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something to be said for trying new things. There's something to be said for innovating, something to be said for playing, weird comps, especially, like, if they're comfort picks and shit.
Yeah.
But, and maybe it's just me, please argue against me. Please tell me I'm
not
wrong somewhere.
arguing.
There's going too far, right?
No.
So to be fair,
Sorry.
This is what I want.
the only reason that this makes any amount of sense is that they were playing Cloud9. If it was a team that they could realistically beat on any other given day, this is horseshit. But considering the fact that them beating Cloud9, their odds are already so low, why not try a weird ass comp on the main stage and just see what happens? And then you at least get some main stage and be like, okay, this could potentially be a thing if somebody better than us pilots them.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit.
I mean,
possible.
it's not-
No, honestly, best devil's advocate I think I've ever gotten from you. It didn't involve a conspiracy theory, and it was sound reasoning.
I haven't had to wear my tinfoil hat in a minute.
I mean, not even to mention, like, Cody's son and Demonte swapped roles.
Yeah, well, and I think
So,
Cody's son
yeah.
played well. There's some back and forth on the
That's what
Reddit
they
whether or
said.
not, like, Cody's
Right.
son actually he's just clean shit up. Okay, well, he got to the places where he could clean up kills, which nobody else on Clutch was
Yeah.
fucking doing. Like, I don't know, that whole comp confused me in a lot of ways. I like what you said about it, where it's like, okay, try it out. But I just felt like, okay, we've seen, like, Cassio be good in the bot lane. I think this goes more to, like, the TSM time. Like, why not have Yasuo mid, Gragas jungle, and then the Cassiopeia bot lane? Because we've seen Sven play it, and he was fine.
Yeah.
But, like, with Clutch, it's like, I don't know, Cassio bot lane, maybe? The Syndra bot was fine. I didn't care one way or the other. I like that it was Demonte playing it instead of Cody's son. But I'd rather see him play the Syndra mid, the Zed bot lane. But the problem is, Zed's an assassin. He has to get level 6.
Mhm.
He's worthless without level
He's
6.
worthless without it.
So you can't put him in a duo lane.
Yeah.
So it's
But
like,
I mean, it'd be an Ezreal Yumi lane, which would be a good place for him to put the Zed, because I mean, you really
problem
have
is still
one
he
champ
hits
to go
6
in
way
on.
too late.
Yeah.
You
that
don't
too.
need Syndra 6. You need Zed 6.
Especially because you can send
That's true.
people bot lane to further delay him getting
Yeah.
level 6.
If
and
you
then,
push him out of lane more than once, oh fuck, he's not hit 6 till way late.
Yeah, and then at that point he's way too far behind to do anything useful.
And of course, top lane's too long of a lane to put Zed in. He can only play mid or bot with the support. But like, so he really can only go mid. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they tried too much. I like what you said though. Like, if you're gonna try some shit like this, do it against a team that you're not expecting to beat. Do it against Cloud9. Now, granted, you're not expecting Cloud9 to bust out, a defensive Ezreal with a Yumi and a AD carry or an AD TF mid and just like poop down your throat with that, like, which they did. But I don't know. I think it's weird because it was just like a couple weeks ago. I was talking about how good Huni looked all of a sudden. I was like, yo, Huni's back. Huni played some games.
He played some games.
And then this week, Huni played the Rumble to minimal effect, and the Cassiopeia to no effect. Which, granted, had a lot more to do with Cloud9 went up there early and often, and Lyra gave him no fucking support. Lyra
There
did
was
not
a jungle
only
in that game?
Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, what was
I
their
remember
jungler
that.
without looking?
Oh,
What did he
I know
play?
It was J4, but
Okay, he
but
played
I mean,
Jarvan.
only because I've been
Right.
sitting here looking at it.
Did
but,
he go top to
but I
help
don't
that
really,
Cassio
I
at
can't
all?
think of anything that he did in that
None.
game.
He never showed up top to help out. He didn't really get the Zed ahead or anything. Like, he showed up mid when they already knew Svenskeren was there, so he's just, like, kind of there for the counter gank safety.
As
and
a
they got
jungler,
nothing
I don't
out of that.
appreciate you blaming the jungler for other lanes shitting themselves.
No,
I just don't even really
I'm
remember
just
him
saying-
in that game.
So, Huni shit himself on his own. Fine. But Svenskeren showed up there. Niski showed up there.
Yeah.
Fuck, we even saw Zazel up there because he came with the TF. Like, no one else on Clutch showed up top. Okay, so you better be top taking, or be bot taking that turret against the Ezreal, right? Nope! He showed up bot like once or twice. It wasn't until we got to team fighting portions, which granted were pretty early because Cloud9 was just shoving it down their throats. But like it wasn't until we got to team fights that we saw Lyra doing stuff. And even then it was just like, okay, he's going in, but he's so far behind it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. He's not half-healthing somebody like a Jarvan that's doing well does.
I saw him up in the top lane go in for the Cataclysm and then just fucking die right away. I was like... Okay, well, that was ridiculous.
Well, that was the one right before Cody-san came up and got the double kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they dove Huni, killed him, Lyra showed up late, like, I'm helping! It's like, dude, run away. Nope, he goes in, he also dies, and at least Cody-san shows up and he's like, okay, well, I can clean up both of these.
Yeah, that was the only redeeming factor. If Cody-san if he were anywhere else on the map, like, it would have been like, okay, we just got fucked. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to that team, I want DeMonte in mid. I think DeMonte's fine. He played an okay Syndra bot.
I think it's so hard to go from being mid to ADC like that. Right. It is such a mental change.
At least he was playing a spellcaster still. He was playing a mage.
Yeah.
But like, I like DeMonte. I like Cody-san. I'm fine with Vulcan too. I don't have anything against Vulcan yet. The weak link in that team is obviously Lyra and then Huni. Huni's at least had a couple good games this split. Lyra only looks good when everybody else is popping off, and so he's not causing them to lose.
I think Huni is just super washed up at this point. Like, he needs to be done, at least here. He needs to be shipped back to EU for a while, and then, like, maybe he'll, like, pop off over there. But, like, he is just, like, kind of riding this, like...
Do you think a better jungler would help him? Do you think if you gave Clutch Meteos...
If he had Meteos or Dardoch again, like Dardoch in...
Whose bench is Dardoch riding right now?
The one with Meteos on it, Optic.
Oh, is he still with Optic?
I think so. I think so.
I think so too, but I'm not sure.
I don't think he got
Buy
traded
him!
away.
Fucking buy him!
I don't think Optic wants to give him away,
Probably
though.
not.
Who is Clutch's academy for jungler?
I don't know. That's going to have to be some chase action here. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, Huni, obviously, he's not Prime anymore. Obviously.
Yeah, Meteos and Dardoch are on Optic.
Yeah. But I don't see Dardoch replacing Meteos. Meteos is one of the best junglers in the league right now. I think he is second only to Svenskeren.
Which is so ridiculous that he got, like, benched and hard, like, fucked last year.
Okay, Meteos' career is crazy, because if you look at it, he was on Cloud9, and he won.
Major danger.
Oh, God, yeah. So, like, fuck. But, like, okay, maybe I don't know, you can't get Blabber either. Like, I think you're more likely to get Blabber now that Kumo has shown himself to be really good, but now internationally he can take 7, so Cloud9's going to hold on to both.
If we could get Dardoch back over to Clutch, and then he could be with DeMonte and Huni again, like, the three of them shined on Echo Fox last year.
I would love to see DeMonte, Dardoch, Huni in that top half with Cody-san and Vulcan in the bot lane. That would be a good team. That would be a playoff contention team for sure. Like, would they make it? I don't know
that much, but
and then they're going to be Dignitas next year, or wait.
I mean, that's the old Echo Fox, the good Echo Fox with a better bot lane.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Like an Echo Fox that made playoffs and looked good. They were like number 4.
I'd switch to being a Dignitas fan if we could make that happen, because they'll have something better than fucking Texas Roadhouse jerseys. That's my biggest hate on Clutch.
What if they change their name to Digna Texas?
No, fuck that. They can burn to hell.
Oh, I'm so glad I thought of that. But now, I'm with you. I think that... So if the jungler were to change to anybody other than DeMonte, would you still think Huni's fine? Or because you said you think he's washed up.
Oh, we talking about Huni?
Yeah.
But you said jungler.
I'm sorry, I said DeMonte. I meant Dardoch. Names.
If they could bring Dardoch over, I'd be pretty okay with that.
But if it was somebody else, if it was another good jungler, if it was not Lyra, if it was Wiggly, we'll not go for the top of the league.
I don't like
we'll go
thinking
Wiggly,
about that.
or if it was Acadian. Say TSM committed to Grig and they got Acadian. Would you think Huni still needs to go, or is it the problem that he has no jungle support?
I think that Huni relies too much on other people to be good. Like, he requires his team to be good around him. And if the team around him isn't good, he just shits himself. He's like, okay, guys, I'm a toddler, and I'm 3 poops into this diaper. Who wants to change me?
his reliance on other players, I think that's a great
because
point.
when he was on Echo Fox last year, when they were still good, like he had DeMonte, he had Dardoch, and they looked good. They looked like a good package.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I'll look at their package all the time.
And I thought
I mean, if it was the three of them.
And then like the spring split of last year, like they kind of pooped themselves, and then they like tore the team apart. And
I don't know. I mean, Clutch and Fox traded so many of their players, and it seemed like in semi the worst way possible.
Well, they just
and then Clutch didn't even play all of them the right way. At least they got rid of
it against the wall and see
like,
what sticks.
I'm so glad Clutch. It seems like the ownership of Clutch is finally making good decisions though, because they did get rid of Piglet and they brought in Cody's son, and that's an upgrade. The next step: get rid of Lyra, bring in somebody else good, or if you can, you need to get jungler top. Honestly, I think jungle is the bigger priority, but.
Yeah, no, like I said, if Huni has people around him that play well, he typically plays well.
Yeah.
If he's got people that play crappy around him, you're going to see the worst Huni you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it just seems like every week is the worst Huni I've ever seen.
And I think right now, when you look at mid with DeMonte and bot with Cody Sun Vulcan, like granted they're not top of the league, either of those, but they're better than average. Mm-hmm. I would take, if you say you get a random mid laner, like an average random mid laner, or DeMonte, I'm going to go, okay, DeMonte. If you say you get a random average bot lane or Cody Sun and Vulcan, I'm going to take Cody Sun Vulcan. Mostly because of Cody Sun, honestly. I think Cody Sun's more proven than he gets credit for.
No, I don't have anything bad to say about
Cody
Sun.
So yeah, I think if you can get you can either get Lyra to play like he did back in his Envy days when he was a fucking MVP, or you get a different good jungler, then I'm okay with holding on to Huni for a little bit longer and seeing what happens.
The problem with
every
every player right now is that the meta shifts so much, and that if you can't adapt, like you go from being an all-star to who were you again? Like it seems like that happens every year. Like when the meta stays static for X amount of time,
I'm
like
glad it's moving then.
When the meta stays the same for X amount of time, like the players learn it really well, and the players that can perfect that, they start looking really good. When the meta's in constant flux, if you can't adapt really quickly, you start to flounder. Yeah. And like I think that's why we're seeing 100 Thieves look so poorly. But they were playing the good old regular meta.
They made a lot of changes that were bad for a long period of time, though. I mean, we mentioned Meteos. Like, Meteos was great on Cloud9. When he was on 100 Thieves, they were good too. When he was on FlyQuest, they were good. Like, that was before 100 Thieves. Like, so Cloud9, they were good. FlyQuest, they were good when he was on it. 100 Thieves, they were good when he was on it. He's on Optic now and starting all the time. They're good now. Maybe Meteos isn't the fucking problem. But anyone who ever cuts him again.
But they should just bench him so he can go sit at the caster desk, because that seems like a good idea.
Right? Shit.
Like, that was the biggest injustice. Like, between Cody Sun and Meteos last year, like, those were, like, the two biggest injustices that I'd ever seen.
No, there are two big... There's three giant injustices that happened. Those were number 2 and 3. The other one was Echo Fox cutting 2 players immediately before the deadline.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was some bullshit.
That was the biggest injustice last year.
Altec and Adrian.
Rude.
Mm-hmm. Altec and Adrian both got fucked by Echo Fox last year.
And Phoenix, if we're going to add getting fucked by, and then picked him back up.
Yeah. Phoenix, why'd you take him back? They hurt you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's looking okay now. Anyway, so let's move off of Clutch, though. We got one other team I definitely want to talk about. FlyQuest. FlyQuest had been dead last. They had owned last. It was theirs. They were wallowing in it. They had one win. And we're like, well, they're going up against Fox. That's our bubble wrap midget wrestling match, obviously. And they won.
They did.
And it was like,
they
okay,
look good doing it.
okay.
They look good both games.
And let's be honest, FlyQuest, they didn't make any changes, right? Oh no, they did.
What did
I'm trying to think.
I don't recall.
What
No.
did is in for JJ.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, FlyQuest brought in what did. The other team who made changes was Golden Guardians, and we didn't talk about that shit. Well, we'll do a quick hit afterwards. So they had brought in what did last week. Mm-hmm. And so it seems like he's starting to mesh, which I didn't think about. Fox dropped Rush, and they brought in Mike Young, which I think I think overall that's a good move.
Yeah, I feel bad for Rush, but on the other hand, like, he was performing 500%, like, or 50%
at best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were with him total. They were well under 500, not by a long shot, but by a decent amount. And I see it as being time to move on, and I get that. So they brought in Mike Young. Granted, he's going to have a rough first couple games because you're just adjusting.
And you've got some low morale around you.
Right. And so FlyQuest picks up that win. Awesome. Then they go to face Optic the next day. Optic, a team at the time tied for first place with 4 other teams, and they get that win too.
Yep.
Like, and they played Ezreal, Yumi bot, a Jax top lane, Azir mid, Rek'Sai jungle, and against another normal team, Aatrox, Jarvan, Zoe, Sivir Braum. Like, Optic's a good team. Jarvan on Meteos on Jarvan, like, that's a good fucking player on a good thing. Like, and they won that game. The last time we had this come up where a team was a dumpster fire and won 2 games was just 1 week ago. I mean, it was 2 weeks ago in real life. But it was when 100 Thieves. They had previously won a game, and then they won another 2, and they beat Cloud9 and FlyQuest. And we're like, well, FlyQuest doesn't matter. Fox doesn't matter. But Cloud9 is important. Optic's a pretty fucking good team. It's not Cloud9, but they're pretty fucking good. What does this mean for FlyQuest? I mean, we saw 100 Thieves lose 2 games this week, but they weren't, like, destroyed. They played close. They should have been able to close out TL, but they managed not to. Is FlyQuest going to come back into this? I'm not saying are they going to hit playoffs, because that is a stretch goal for them right now. Like, they're a Kickstarter for man-sized baby bottles. Like, okay, I don't know how many people are going to want to invest in this.
They've only got a $20 goal limit. We're going to see if they can hit 40 to make their stretch
If you can
goal.
find that one weirdo who doesn't live in his mom's basement and has an allowance, you might get there. But FlyQuest, like, are they finally coming together? Was what did the change they needed? Do they need to make more changes?
He's really good.
What's
on
going on
Yumi,
with FlyQuest?
I'll say that.
He's really good on Yumi.
Yeah. That's what he played both games.
He did play Yumi both games. You are correct.
I don't really want to make any, like, big comments about FlyQuest. Like, I think they looked good this weekend. Okay. And if they keep with it, they could kind of slowly turn things around. But I don't want to say, like, they have a really good chance because next week they go up against Golden Guardians and TL.
Yeah.
Golden Guardians, like, I mean, it's very possible that if they come into it how they played this weekend, they could potentially take a win from Golden Guardians. TL, I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that they beat TL. Like, even when they kind of look like shit this last weekend, TL still leaps and bounds better.
So here's maybe a better question. You have the bottom of the table. You have Echo Fox. You have Clutch. You have FlyQuest. And you have 100 Thieves. Out of those 4 teams, how does FlyQuest stack up against 100 Thieves, Echo Fox, and I just forgot them again, Clutch?
I'm actually baffled that 100 Thieves is not in last place right now. Their 2 wins.
3 wins.
Well, okay, their 2 wins 2 weeks ago, like, put them back on, like, hey, we're still kind of here.
They're tied for 8th, which means they're only a game above last.
And Echo Fox is looking, like, real bad. I think FlyQuest is better than both of those teams.
And then Clutch.
Should be, but right now Clutch is
FlyQuest should be better than Clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, Turtle's good. I don't think Turtle's quite washed up yet. I don't really know what's going on with their team right now. Like, maybe what could be, like, the secret sauce that they need to get back into it. But I think that they're still kind of unless they start taking a whole bunch of wins, I still don't see them getting close enough to playoff contention.
Right, not play. I mean, because 4 teams will miss playoffs, which is why I'm focused on these bottom 4. Like, I guess the idea is, are they a last place team? Are they a just out of playoffs team? Are they somewhere in between?
Probably just out of playoffs at this point, but I mean,
Are you seeing them as better than Clutch,
honestly,
100 Thieves, Fox?
I think they're very much a bubble team right now, honestly. I think it's still possible. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying, like, it is reasonably possible if they continue to do... Because, I mean, all they really have to do is better than Clutch, 100 Thieves, and Echo Fox, and they've been nothing but real bad lately.
They also need to be better than one more, which means...
I am aware, but, I mean...
Golden Guardians?
Depending on how Golden Guardians look this weekend, like, for as much as I don't want Golden Guardians to miss playoffs, like, I mean... Like, they're kind of the gatekeeper right now.
They are. Mm-hmm. Do you think they look Golden Guardians good, though? And
no.
And to be fair, Golden Guardians also made a change this week. Yeah. We saw them bring in FBI in the bot lane.
As well as support.
Right. And I think it was more so them feel... who was their support that they were running?
Huhi.
No, before.
Ole.
Ole.
Oh, yeah.
I think they felt like Ole wasn't up to snuff.
Which is really
honestly,
weird.
And they wanted to bring in
Is that why they did this?
No,
there's no reason.
So sometimes
the
they
reason
just
you would
pull
have
the bot
to
lanes together. They would pull, like, because FBI and Huhi have been playing on the academy team together.
Yeah.
It's really silly to split up a team, like a group that's been playing together on the other side. Like, if they're playing together well over there, it's not so hard to be like, okay, we're just going to pick the two of you up, plop you in, move the other two out.
Right, and I think that actually is the reason it was both. Because if you go by import rules, they wouldn't have to get rid of...
That's what I was wondering.
Because it was Ole and...
Definitely.
And Deathly's in Deme. He's from NA. So you wouldn't have to get rid of Deathly to put in Huhi. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they maybe it was just a whole thing. It probably was. It was probably just a whole thing. They're like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And to be honest, like, that bot lane looked fine. FBI and Huhi did fine. Like, which is weird because the last time we saw Huhi, he was sucking ass as a mid laner on 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw him before that, he was sucking ass as a mid laner on CLG. Like, if the dude's reborn and doing great as a support, like, he's a veteran, he has so much game knowledge that maybe support's the right way to, like, hold on to him.
Yeah, Ole has been kind of hit or miss lately. Like, he's looked really good in some of the games that he's popped off on, but he's looked kind of meh otherwise. Yeah. And Deathly, I don't think Deathly's bad by any means, but FBI didn't look that bad either. So it would be interesting to see how possibly Deathly and Huhi work, or FBI and Ole work.
You can't run that secondary bot lane with their current team, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because Deathly and Huhi and... Deathly and Huhi are both residents, whereas FBI, who just came over,
he's not even
and
on
Ole are not residents.
I don't know why they switched it out. I think, even if Deathly and Ole are the weakest points on that team, I think they still made a better and cohesive team with, like, those 5 players than if just subbing in 2 from your academy. I don't really get why they did it.
The squad was performing, as Jay said, they were performing really well on academy, that bot lane was. So I can see that. And they invested to bring FBI over. They just got him following MSI. They're like, yo, you're good. Like, that was one of those things we talked about. Like, players who were bought after MSI, just after the play-in stage. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting how this continues to play out. I think even more interesting will be if it goes back to being a aggressive support meta. I think Ole is more suited for that than Huhi.
I could see.
I think Huhi's very knowledge based. Like, granted, we haven't seen enough of Huhi for me to really know what he's like as a support.
Is this his first support game since?
In ages, if not ever. I don't know if he's ever played pro support before now. I should have looked that up, and I didn't. You would have to just search a Huhi in Google. It'll come up with his Liquipedia. Yeah. Liquipedia.
League of Legends.
Team Liquid owns one.
Oh, I was just gonna do Leaguepedia.
Yeah, Leaguepedia or Liquipedia, either one.
Liquid has their own.
There's Leaguepedia and Liquipedia. They're two entities that are the same thing. Anyway, like, when it comes down to it, though, he hasn't played it forever. So, like, if you're saying, it goes back to, like, Alistar, Leona...
Oh, God. He played jungle for CLG for a minute?
Yeah, hot minute.
Okay, so mid. September to September, he played jungle.
Exactly.
and then he was.
So
What year was that? 2014. We played jungle?
15.
15. Damn.
And then
So
support,
this is his
GGS
first support.
Academy.
Yeah, so he's never played pro support before. Obviously, like, he's a pro player. He's played support online and shit. But I feel like if it becomes Thresh or Khan, Leona, Alistar's like support, like the biggest meta important power picks, then I feel like you want Ole back.
Well, actually, with the way that the meta has been kind of shifting with like the double mage bot lane, or like Lux is kind of coming back into it, like somebody that's had a whole shitload of experience playing mid, if they come in and start playing like a mage type
if
thing.
If it's Yuumi, Lux, or some other weird mid that gets brought down there as a support, I'm all in on Huhi. Absolutely. Vigar or something. Like, but if it, like I say, if it's traditional aggressive supports, at that point, I think I'd rather have Ole and Deathly in.
It's very possible that they pulled him in because of how the meta's been looking lately. And that's just speculation. I don't know. I don't have any insider knowledge yet.
Could be. Well,
let me know if you've got some insider knowledge you want to share.
Well, we've covered most of the teams, so let's play a little game before we close.
Well,
you got something?
To go back to
FlyQuest?
what was the other team we were going to talk about?
We went back to Clutch forever.
Oh yeah, like that. It was only
picks.
Golden Guardians.
And then I wrote down Golden Guardians, and we just talked about them.
Cool, never mind.
They played Ring Around the Rosie with people in both games. Like, Optic could have had a chance in that second game, the FlyQuest versus Optic.
Yes.
Like, I think they probably could have finished that game had they been a little bit
more
smarter,
decisive.
Yeah, maybe. And but the first game against Fox, they absolutely decimated him. That play up at top where they had Fox going towards their base, and then they were just waiting for the Kennen or something to come back. I'm like, FlyQuest is literally toying with their food right now.
Like that. That was really all on Echo Fox there.
Yes.
Like Echo Fox.
Well, FlyQuest did a good job of waiting.
Right, but
patience and corralling.
Right. No, they played that very patiently.
Yes.
Absolutely. But Echo Fox should have known.
Yeah.
What situation they were in and gone, okay, let's engage. Especially because there was
needed to engage at one backwards and just haul ass.
At one point, only one person was between them and their own base in the lane. And they were just like,
I was very
they don't know.
disappointed in them.
Like, they should have just fucking hard hauled through there, killed the one person, maybe lost one or two, and got the fuck out. No, instead they waited the whole 20 seconds for Ken to run from fucking base. Like, because there's the interview afterwards. I think it was what Did was saying, like, oh yeah, like, he recalled and we just played it calm. He's like, okay, I can be there in 20. And so we were just like, all right, hold him here. And they waited a whole fucking 20 seconds for fucking Kennen to get there. And at that point, you're fucked. Because he's got ultimate. He's going to walk in. He's going to stun 3 of you. It was just such a misplay on Fox's part there.
But I think Fly did a very good job of having upper hand on that entire game.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. One last thing, though, I wanted to ask about this.
Sure.
Because I didn't really notice it, I guess, when I was watching all the games this weekend.
Right.
Karma banned 10 out of 10 times, almost the exact same
Karma was
position.
super banned, yes.
So what did they change about her that I'm missing? Is it her E or something?
I don't think there's any adjustments.
Really? They just don't want to fucking deal with that?
I'd have to check. Can you check the most recent patch notes, see if there's any Karma changes? I don't think there was. I think it's just her flex pick status, and there's probably something going on in scrims
9.12
that we don't fucking know about.
Yeah, when they see something really gross or broken in scrims, you'll see it banned all day long.
And then we never see it. We just don't know what happened. I mean, it literally could have been like fucking, I don't know, it could have been DeMonte or Huhi or Kumo, like somebody just busting that shit out in fucking scrims, and then like they dicked on 2 people. One of those people played it and dicked on 3 people, and then so everybody's like, "Fuck this, ban it."
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think Karma's incredibly overpowered. Anyways.
Yeah,
like she's a great pick.
Because we know Aurelia why she's getting banned. We know why Yumi's getting banned.
Q slow increased, E cost decreased, movement speed duration increased due to match shield
So
duration.
they just hard buffed her across all 3 of her skills?
No, just 2 of them.
We're changing, or we're giving Karma more tools to help her survive, especially when she's caught out by herself.
They were on patch 9.12, so.
Flame Slow went from 25 to 35. Her E
10%?
Inspire
Yeah.
cost dropped.
And the E cost.
The
is
cost of
dropping.
E dropped?
Cost
So
dropped
amazing.
from starting at 50 instead of
Oh,
60
movement speed
and
went
ending
up
at
too?
70 to 80.
I
Okay,
think,
yeah, no,
Movement
they
speed
hard
duration
buffed
went
the
up
shit
2.5
out of her.
seconds.
I
Okay.
think in like either 9.13 or 9.14, they actually brought some of that shit back down.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw because I did not see this. I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, why are they
She-
bringing her stuff down?
So yeah, the
Okay,
912
let me
patch
look
made
at
her disgusting.
913
Yeah.
and see
So
if
that's
they
why she was
Yeah.
ran
turned
10
down.
times.
How is I saw this on this? I'm like karma.
Karma,
Yes. So which one are you looking at?
It was
now?
actually
Uh,
karma,
13s.
karma, Sejuani karma.
All right,
They
so
put
so
the E
they,
back down.
they nerfed the E, and that was the only thing they did back to the original 1.5.
movement.
Yeah, they're gonna
Just
do a
movement
little
speed.
bit at a time
Yeah.
to bring her back in
Oh, you look at
line.
9.14 too, just in case.
And you
there
do always have to
wasn't
remember there's the
9.14.
pro overreaction scale,
Yeah.
where
that's
like, oh, minor nerf happened, and you never see a champion again until like nothing happens to them, and all of a sudden they're back and they're still dominating. It's like, oh, they're still good. They just felt like shit to you.
honestly, that even without that movement speed, it's still a good buff. Like it's
No.
slight, but
Yeah, all of that
major
was a
at the
good
same
buff.
time, Yeah.
So
Okay, cool.
it'll be interesting as those nerfs hit in then, if we'll see karma pop in. Alright guys, pick your pony time.
Yay.
We played this before. We picked Liquid, Cloud9, Optic, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I picked Golden Guardians.
See,
He
I
did
thought you
pick-
did.
He picked Golden
Oh,
Guardian.
he
his
did.
boys.
Okay, he
Yeah,
did.
so
He did pick his boys.
If he says his boys, I think Golden Guardian. If you say it,
to
I
be
think
fair,
say
if he
mine.
had picked Liquid, he would have gone 4-0. No, he did not pick Golden Guardians. He picked Liquid.
Did I?
No.
Yes,
it's-
because otherwise he would have gone 1-3, and you guys would have been
He
tied.
did. You need to rewatch it because I. sent
You
it
said
to
you rewatched it. It
And
was TL.
No, it's Golden. I rewatched it and said it was Golden Guardians because on the paper
Should I
you
have
had
been the one
TL,
out buying
and I was like,
burgers?
"Hey man,
You guys would have tied it. I would have had to figure it out.
Ah,
At which point, I think she would have had the better win because it was
Yeah.
over TSM and you won over 100 Thieves.
I
You
knew
told
it,
me,
I
and I
knew
kind
it.
of went and watched it.
you need to go watch it just so you can."
We'll
have on your own,
recap
but I
again.
am
All right,
really-
but what we're gonna do,
Ugh.
we're
gonna
gonna
have
each
a
pick.
make-up burger day.
Yeah.
Is that what's gonna
I'm
end up
alright with that.
happening?
We're gonna pick
I
each
knew
pick a
something was
team
funky about that.
over the next 2 weeks. Whichever of those teams does the worst, that person either owes burgers or fries or something. We'll figure it the fuck out.
Okay.
They'll owe something to the group, the table. So, pick your teams.
Oh, sorry.
At the
I
end.
forgot about this.
Since you lost, Heather gets first pick the next 2 weeks.
I'm
Or would
definitely
you
going
rather
TL.
have last pick?
No TL. I'm just gonna straight pick TL. They have
Alright.
CLG, Flies, CG, and GTs, in which I think they'll at least pull 2 wins at minimum.
All right. Heather
So,
has
I'll pick-
TL.
Yeah.
Chase.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'll let you pick next.
I'll let you pick if you want.
I don't care.
I'm gonna pick Optic. I'm just gonna roll the dice and see what happens. I'm seeing their next 2 weeks, and I'm seeing 3 relatively easy wins, and then 1
true.
possible. It could go either way depending on if TSM looks like shit or not.
All right. Let me give you this quick scan over.
I'd go
I'm gonna
C9.
pick
my
TL
my
and
boys.
just win everything.
Well, just because Fox.
I hope TL
100
sucks
TSM.
these next 2 weeks.
My boys
They
Cloud9
could,
are
you never
looking
know.
okay with Fox and 100 in there, but TSM and CLG are not slouches right now.
Yeah, but that's better than CLG having
So-
TLGGs flying C9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So CLG out for sure. Fox sucks balls, so nobody cares.
Yeah.
Golden Guardians has Fly, CLG, TSM, TL. That's awful.
Yeah.
Optic, 100, Clutch, Fox, TSM.
Mm-hmm.
Risky wager, but it might be worth it.
You can't, though, because he picked it.
I know. I took it. And you took TL.
I offered you to take the first pick.
TSM.
I was gonna pick
Yeah.
TSM
CLG
is
otherwise.
Clutch, Cloud9,
'Cause I
Golden
feel like-
Guardians, Optic.
Oh wait, CLG has C9 and TL, so that's not as great.
You know, I'm gonna
C9 is probably
I'm gonna
the
stick with
best
my boys. They looked disgusting this past week.
bet. Oh,
And
that's
they also
true.
have a,
yeah.
I'm going
pretty
Cloud9.
probable three.
CLG's
3-1.
tied with them, and TSM's a game behind them. They should win 2 of those, but they also did lose to one of those teams in the first half.
Yeah.
So, I know Cloud9. I know they can be a bit mercurial because they play some random ass
That's a
shit.
good one. Good words today.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Cloud9. Heather's going TL. Chase is going Optic. It's written down, and we have it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna rewind because he doesn't say it. He doesn't say either GG's or Team Liquid at all. He just says.
I thought I asked him for clarification, but I don't remember. And at the time I was trying to rewatch it is when the audio was fucked too, so I gave
know
up.
it is kind of annoying.
I'm pretty sure I
I was
said Golden
determined,
Guardians. I'm pretty sure I said my boys.
Oh, well, if you end up saying Golden Guardians, then I'm pretty sure you lost.
I knew something was fucky about it. I should have looked at it harder because I just totally.
Because I said to you, I'm like, I thought he picked Golden Guardians. You're like, no, he picked TL.
What are
I'm
you
like,
talking about? When,
so
when did you say you think?
I can pull up those fucking messages. Don't pretend like.
Go
I didn't
ahead,
ask.
fucking pull him up.
I'm gonna pull him up
Pull
right
him
now.
up. Look at this.
I'm pretty sure I picked
It's just
Golden
for the smack
Guardians.
talk.
I have no idea.
Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to like scroll.
Nope. Because I'm pretty sure it was in direct messages, and you know I don't have many direct
Oh,
messages.
that's true. I don't know that shit. You probably have more than me, which is.
Between each other, you guys would have exactly the same. Total messages between the two of you.
That is a true story.
Sorry.
Total. Was it in there? I don't think. Nope. I don't see it.
Yeah.
So I'll have to find it elsewhere.
All right. That being
I think it's
said,
in
we'll
chat.
figure that out off stream, and I'll
Very
probably end
true.
up having to bring extra
You can
burgers.
just bring me burgers. Just
Oh.
me for that one.
You can bring me burgers too.
I'll get some McDoubles for
I'll take all
everyone.
of the burgers.
McDoubles and McChickens
Yeah.
for everyone.
That's fine, because I did.
How
my
are
notes,
all
so-
of your Frosties?
Yeah. Oh, they were delicious. Well, a little bit melty, but still delicious.
Aren't
Frosty-
Frosties supposed to be a little bit melty?
Yes,
Well, I had put them
because
in my
they're
car,
miserable
but-
if they're not.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, I think we can close out
Oh,
the
are
episode.
we gonna pick the winners for next week or no? Like
We
just
can
for
talk
the
about the
stream?
matches real quick.
Yeah.
Let's talk
okay,
about the
okay,
matches real
sorry.
quick.
I'm like,
No,
let's
it's
get the
fine.
fuck out of here,
I know.
guys.
Yeah,
Like,
so week 6, let's go ahead and Chase, can you just pull up the
Look
the
at
schedule?
I
That's
just
the
had
easiest
it
way to
up
look
and
through
I
it.
closed the tab. Reopen the last
How
closed tab.
dare you?
Woohoo! That did it. If it loads. Computer over.
Right.
Virus equals very yes. That's not good.
What? Alright, so we have Echo Fox, Cloud9. Golden Guardians, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians,
I'm
everyone.
gonna say Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
TSM Clutch,
I'm
TSM.
gonna say TSM.
Yep.
TLCLG, technically tied, guys.
I'm gonna
TL.
lean into TL, but I
Same.
think that this is gonna be the match to watch.
I think it's an important match.
It is an important match.
Optic, 100 Thieves, Optic.
Optic.
FlyQuest, TL.
Yep.
Cloud9, TSM, another
Ooh,
somewhat important match.
and this is also going to be a good match. I think we've got two solid matches.
Yeah,
to
TL,
watch this week.
CLG, and Cloud9, TSM.
I mean, I'm giving the match to watch to TL,
Yeah,
CLG.
They're tied for 1st,
Mhm.
yeah. I agree. So, Cloud9, TSM, though, who do you guys got
I'm
feeling?
going to lean into Cloud9.
Yeah, they look so
CLG
good.
Golden Guardians.
CLG.
Want to say Golden Guardians.
I want
but
to as
I'm-
well.
But I'm probably going to lean into CLG
We'll
at this
see how
moment.
we'll see how day 1 goes. 100 Thieves, Echo
Our
Fox.
Bubble Wrap Midget Wrestling match.
That is the one for sure.
I am not picking 100 Thieves, so I'm going to go Echo Fox 100%.
I'm feeling 100 Thieves over Fox right now, but we'll see how Fox
I'm
looks on day
never,
1.
ever,
Yeah,
ever
that's true.
picking 100 Thieves. Again, ever.
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 Well, they're...
What if they end up being the most dominant team in the league?
Doesn't... No,
the whole
I'm
year?
out of spite. I'm not picking them. I will
I
lose.
will hold you to that.
I will lose.
I'll be more than happy to win every possible. I will constantly make bets about whether or not 100 Thieves is going to win. You're like, no! It's like, they won Worlds. No!
Okay, well, everyone in the world knows that's never
No,
happening.
it'll be 3 years from now.
Wow.
Anyway, so, and then Clutch Optic.
That's if they don't get relegated out.
I'd say Optic on that last one, yeah.
I'm going to say Optic as well.
Alright, well, I think that closes out. So,
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Chase, if you have anything to say,
I don't. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Cheers.
does it
Love
for episode
everyone.
22.
Have
Cheers.
a good evening. See you next week. Smash.